Mary, I am really excited about this movie, and you've been working with Monica Rambeau's character since the whole time in the MCU. Can you talk to me about her evolution from being a kid to a superhero and how we see the character evolve even further in the Marvels?
For sure. The team up with the Marvels has been long in the works. As you just said, I was lucky enough to work on the first Captain Marvel movie where indeed it was a definite decision, intentional decision to make Monica the age that she was because that story took place in the past. We always knew that we wanted Monica and Carol to share the big screen together one day. And they have such a rich, beautiful relationship in the comics. It was something that we were always excited to bring to the screen. And what's wonderful is that with Carol and Monica's relationship in this film, we get to explore themes surrounding reconnection.
And I actually want to talk about that a little bit. Can you talk about the theme of chosen family in this film?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Of course, Monica and Carol were so close in the past, but they need to find their way back to each other in this film. It's also so important who we let into our lives, and the notion that Miss Marvel gets to help Captain Marvel realize that she herself as Carol Danvers is a hero, even outside of Captain Marvel, is a really wonderful thing. And Nia always had the intention and the vision to portray the three of our Marvels sort of like sisters, Carol being the oldest, Monica being the enthusiastic youngest child, and Monica being the sort of mediating middle child. And that's really a really lovely dynamic that makes its way onto screen.
That is incredible. Now, I want to talk about Nia because she is a phenomenal director. Can you talk about working with her as a collaborator and what her directing kind of added to the Marvels?
Absolutely. Nia is an incredible person, an incredible director. She's not just deeply talented and skilled at her craft, but she's also a huge nerd, which was a joy because working with someone who's just as big of a nerd as you makes for a really wonderful time. We got to make a story that celebrates the characters that we love. And of course, Nia not only directed, but helped write. Yes. Bringing Entanglement onto the big screen was a huge feat, and the amount of storyboarding and prep that had to go into making that actually work was immense. And Nia just did an amazing job and really brought out beautiful performances with our amazing cast.
That's amazing. Saber, we get to finally see Saber. Yes. What can you tell us about Saber?
It's classified. What Saber does exactly is classified. But really, we find that Monica, after the events of WandaVision, is up on Saber researching. Of course, she's an astronaut, but she's a scientist as well. And she's using her new powers to help advance the mission up there. But it's really a hub in which Nick Fury can monitor this new, larger cosmic MCU.
Amazing. Now, Miss Marvel was an amazing series, and she's an amazing character. We hear that X-Men theme at the end of Miss Marvel's series, but I was checking out the production notes, and I noticed that there was X2 and Days of Future Past in there as well. Are those themes that are going to be used again for Miss Marvel, or is that in relation to something else for the Marvels?
Well, the idea of X anything is incredibly exciting. And that's all I can say about that.
Fair enough. Are there any characters that you wanted to include in this film but maybe couldn't due to timing or storyline issues? Because I know a character that Carol is kind of connected with is the Brood. Are there any other characters that you wanted to kind of include in this?
I am such a fan of Captain Marvel and her entire history and Captain Marvel's entire history in the comics. There are tons of storylines I would love to see on screen. I think every wish that we had for this movie, we were able to put it up on the screen. But I'm very much excited as a fan to see wherever Carol and Monica and Kamala go next.
Now, I want to talk about Carol for a second because the last time we saw her was, in the Miss Marvel series, but before that was battling Thanos. Mm-hmm. Where is Carol at when the story starts?
Mm-hmm. When we first find Carol, we find Captain Marvel, and we finally answer the question, like, what's Captain Marvel's thing? Where has she been and what has she been doing? She's out in space shouldering the burden of the entire universe and saving it all on her own. But that's what's so great, because in this film, we really come to find through the team up of the Marvels that no one person has to shoulder the burden of it all on their own.
Now, we also know that Nick Fury is in this film. We love Sam Jackson. He just finished with Secret Invasion. Where do we see Sam in this movie? And can you talk about his relationship with each one of the three Marvels that we see?
At the top of this film, we get to finally understand what exactly Nick Fury has been doing up in space on Saber. What's awesome, I think, about Nick Fury appearing alongside Captain Marvel is that you get that Bree, Sam energy. They have such fun together. And there's a levity to their relationship that brings out fun in each other that you don't necessarily get anywhere else in the MCU. So that's a total delight that we get to see once again with the Marvels. Oh my gosh, when Iman met Sam for the first time, she was floored. She was starstruck, as were we all. But really, the dynamic between Miss Marvel and Nick Fury is quite the same. There's a huge level of fandom there, and it catches Nick Fury off guard, which is a blast. And Monica and Nick Fury do have a history. They knew each other from when Monica was younger, and so we see a really lovely warmth and familiarity between the two of them.
That is incredible. Look, I cannot wait for this. This week, The Marvels comes out. I've been anticipating this movie. It looks so much fun. When you guys introduced Miss Marvel on Disney Plus, that became like one of my favorite characters instantly. I love this cast. Amazing job. Thank you so much.
Glad. I hope you like the rest of it too.